Yasu, and welcome to another edition, another segment of A Day in the Life at Tinos Island in Greece. Today, I'm thinking of going outside. This segment will take place outside my beautiful stone house, and I think we'll do a little work in the garden today, show you around the garden a little bit. I've been enjoying it a lot. All right, so let's head outside. And I keep the door closed during the day to keep the heat out and open it at night. So let's see if we can look at the garden. It's very windy today, and I hope you can still hear me because it's been windy all week. The island of Tinos is in a group of islands called the Cyclades Islands, which includes Tinos and Syros and Mykonos, Naxos. I think there's a couple others. And these islands are known for their seasonal winds, similar to the monsoon winds in India, and they're the worst in July and August, which I guess has a good side because it keeps the heat down. Okay, so anyways, a little tour of the garden first. So I've already been working on it. When I arrived here, this is, by the way, July 10th, my 12th day in Greece. July 10th, it's around 3:30. And when I arrived here, this section of the garden was full of grass, full of weeds. And you see I've already pulled them out here, cleared them out here. And I still plan on doing more back here. Maybe that'll be today's project, right down here. And you see I found this bucket on one of my walks, which really works out very well. You can sit down on the bucket, like I'll do right now. Sit down on the bucket, and then reach down and comfortably grab the grass. But I don't actually use my hands. I've got this nifty tool that I use. So I'll show you that in a second here. Okay, back with part 3. So here's the patio. It's a great space. I come out here to work, sit in that chair right there, and usually my little cat friend visits me and bothers me. But we're getting along, and I'm growing very affectionate of cats. I've never owned a cat and never really liked cats, but I like this one, and maybe I'm gonna like cats from now on after meeting this cat. But anyways, here's the pots that were in that section of the garden where I was weeding before. All of these pots were there, so I had to pull these out first and make space to pull out all of those weeds. And you see there's some really nice basil plants here, and I use the owner of the house, Andreas, said I was welcome to pick as much as I wanted, and I've been taking advantage of that and adding basil to my daily salads. And there's various other plants, a lot of cactus, and he's got an aloe plant here, a couple aloe plants, and there's more along the walkway, and some very nice tropical plants. You can see up over here these trees, these palm trees. They're very nice all around. And here's I don't know what this is called, but it's got this big beautiful flower. I should know the name of this. I don't remember. Anyways, there's this tree, and then there's this very nice like jasmine vine here that's very fragrant. Here's some of the flowers. Oh, and it gives off a very nice fragrance in the evening especially, and it crawls right up the top over the roof of the porch, just like that. And it has a whole bunch more flowers on there. And then we come down, and we've got this other beautiful, these are very popular in Cambodia actually, these particular plants. It's a kind of jasmine, I think, perhaps. I don't think it's a jasmine, but it's something very fragrant and similar to it. A lot of geraniums. There's some here, and there's more elsewhere. And then I'll just end the tour of the garden, just kind of taking a walk up the steps Here's another interesting big plant, kind of in the cactus family it looks like. And you see some more. Oh, it's very hot, so I have to step on the white part. Here's some more of the cactus. Right here, going up around, coming up the steps, and going around to the gate, where I go out to take my nightly walks and daily walks. There. And there's the beautiful view of the Aegean down below. I forgot to mention, and I wanted to mention this, so my house, the stone house, is also connected to another apartment owned by the same person, Andreas. And in this apartment lives a friend of Andreas named Yanis, the same as my son Yanni. And there's his car, very nice guy. I guess he kind of works for Andreas, helping out with some of the maintenance in his various, he's got a few other places apparently. Yanni's a nice guy. He's got two sons, one named Yorgos, my name, and another one named Marcos. Yorgos is the older son, he's in his 20s I believe, and then Marcos is just 12. And his Yanni's ex-wife, I've met her, her name is Athena. She has a tourist business, kind of like a tour guide business that is 100 years old this year, she told me. It's been through, I guess, 3 generations now. So there's a lot of that on the island of Tinos. For example, the car rental, like Vitalis car rental is something like that. Started from nothing, I was told by Yanni, and now a very big successful car rental business, because I see the cars all around and there's several competitors. So anyways, that's sort of the lay of the land here outside in my stone house in Tinos. And when we come back, I think we'll get our hands dirty and get right into working in the garden. Okay, Yasu, part 4. So I was telling you I had a nifty little tool. I found this actually around the back of the house. I was looking around for the broom because the broom had disappeared, and I like to sweep up the leaves that fall down in all this wind. Keep my little patio tidy. So I used this tool, very nifty tool, and I showed it to Andreas and he said, sure, use it, no problem. But he just said I use my hands. But I think this tool works really well, even better. In fact, much better than using your hands. All right, now it's going to be hard to do this and hold the camera at the same time, but just the general idea. Here's the bucket for sitting on. Put that into place. And this plant right here has very sharp leaves. Whoa! And I fell off the bucket. I told you it was hard doing this and holding the camera at the same time. Why don't you ever listen to me? All right, so I'm going to try that again. Sit down next to this very sharp leafed plant. You see it? Here it is right here. And the ends of these leaves are pretty sharp. Not too bad though. It's not like some of the plants I've seen around the island. Oh, I forgot to mention some nice pepper plants back here. I don't know if you can see those, but 2 of them. And you can see there's some good sized peppers on there, and some peppermint right behind that. Very nice. So I'm going to get digging here, and the idea is use the tool. Very simple. We've all done weeding before, so it's nothing new. But basically, start digging it in, pulling back the weeds, and the idea is for today just to clear out this, really I think will be the last section of this part of the garden of weeding. Try to get around there and then around here, and when we're done it should look pretty good, I think. Okay, when we come back, hopefully we'll show you the finished product. Okay, it's later in the afternoon, around 7:30 now, I did a few things this afternoon, including listening to the Wimbledon Women's Final on the Wimbledon app. Congratulations to Ashley Barty, the women's champion. They are getting the Barty party going down under. Meanwhile, up here in Tinos, Greece, we finished the weeding of this section of the garden. Oh, and we have a visitor, so let's say hi to our visitor. That's my buddy. Gee, oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, okay. So now, back to the garden. Finished up the last of the weeding in this section of the garden. So it looks nice down there, right? Take a look in there. Does it pass inspection? Yeah, pretty well. At least Andreas thought it was pretty good. He said, "Hey, this is awesome, man." He speaks perfect English. So all of the weeds go into this bucket. Not only do you sit on the bucket, but afterwards you pick up the bucket. Come on, baby. And you put all the weeds in it, and I'll show you where it goes. Actually, Andreas just showed me today. I've been throwing it over the wall into the next property. I know that's not a good thing to do. So this is much better. This is the actual septic system, and he said throw it right into the septic system. It's part of his, he said, organic pig. So here we go, right down in there. Okay, get all of it down there. Oh, a little bit more. It's hard to do holding the camera. All right, that's all of it. Get it in there. All of that, down you go to make future fertilizer. So that's it. Now the last step of today's day in the life of George the gardener will be to take these basil plants and return them to where they were before, because now everything's cleared out over there. So we'll move each of these pots to back to their original position, but now instead of being covered in grass and weeds, it's sitting there in all its glory as the king of spices should be. So there's 3 of them. We'll take all 3, but I won't bore you with that. And I will simply leave you now on this day in the life. And we'll see you next time. Yasas. Well, I couldn't resist just to show you the final, at least the result right here, with our little stone walk going between the basil and the geranium, and then our pointy little plant here, and our peppermint to the right, and then finally the peppers here. And maybe I'll even find a few more stones to make a complete little circle, a kind of Japanese garden or Tibetan mandala. Okay, this is for real, signing off.